let's go to the next thing. We're going to be talking about building dApps that drive adoption, and our speaker for that is Israel Rex. Israel Rex. A round of applause for him, please, as he comes on stage.
Like she mentioned, my name is Israel Rex. I'm a product designer and I lead and I founded Selma. Selma is a design and development agency. So I'll be speaking about dApps that drive adoption. So basically, I'm more interested in designers and developers and basically product teams. That is anyone who is engaged in building a product, basically. So how many of us in the house here are designers? If you're a designer, raise up your hand, raise up your hand. Awesome, awesome. Right, so I hardly get to see designers. I see more of developers. Maybe because there's more money in development. People think so though. But the money is spread across anyways. But let's go forward. I have a very short time here. So building dApps that drive adoption. So here I'm basically talking about what can product teams do to actually drive adoption of Web3 itself? Because currently there are a lot of barriers in Web3 adoption. Is this way? All right. Okay. This is a bit about Selma. We've been in the space for a while. These are a few of the projects we've worked with. If you can see the logo clearly though. Next up. So yeah, there are a lot of barriers to adopting Web3. The first one over there talks about the how complex it is and the barriers to interoperability. That is where blockchain systems have to talk to each other. Then this one here is what we're more familiar with, regulatory barriers. For example, we know what the Nigerian government is doing to anything crypto related. I think yesterday I saw crypto hardware or crypto machine or so. So the next one here is basically education, all right? People are aware, or people need to be aware more, and basically to go about this is basically to educate people, right? All right. Then the last on the list, someone mentioned, I think Pius from Guild Audits. He mentioned that, yeah, people are aware about Web3 and all, but then people are scared, right? They're scared because of the news, because of the information, the things they have seen, money stolen, hacks, and this and that, you know. So basically, we can't blame people, all right? But as a product-driven team, how can we do our best to actually drive adoption of dApps? All right, so dApps are decentralized applications. So think of it as an application that is built to the blockchain technology. So it's called dApps, decentralized application. Because why? It's an app, but the blockchain technology is behind it. All right, so I have 4 sections here to actually talk about product-driven adoption for Web3. All right, I'll quickly go through it. The first one, which is very more familiar with all of us here, user experience and user interface. This is the UI UX designers. That is our own part, like what designers have to do on their own to actually drive this adoption. And driving adoption means being open to newbies, being very clear on whatever actions will take place whenever you click a button. It's not clear enough. Is it really clear, guys? Can you really see it? All right. I can't really see it from here though. But so talking about user experience and user interface, all right. What as designers, because I think there are a lot of designers here, I saw a lot of hands. So designers, what we should consider when designing applications, all right? Less trust, more truth, all right? People don't really want to trust, like, let me put it this way. The blockchain application or Bitcoin or blockchain itself is trustless, right? Because I can see it. It's open source. I can go to the back. I can see the code that actually built the software. Why? Because it's open source. So it's trustless, all right? And more truth. More truth basically means because it's trustless, it represents something that is more truthful because you can verify whatever smart contract is if you can read it. All right. So these are a few points. You have 10 minutes. So these are a few points that designers should take note. I'll go through all of them in a bit. deliver clear prompts and complete information. All right. So that is whatever action a user will need to take in your app or in your mobile app or whatsoever, be clear on it. All right. If you click on this button, this is what is going to happen. Your money is going to go, transaction is going to happen. This is the gas fee that's going to incur, basically. All right. The next one is use familiar. It used to have pointers. All right. Use familiar native currencies to communicate exchange rates. This is basically how many of us have used a blockchain app that's basically maybe your wallet, your MetaMask, anything, but the value of your tokens is. How many of us have seen such? Or awesome. So those are good UX features that people are bringing up now in more recent applications where native currencies are used to communicate the value of your tokens, because the crypto and blockchain, everything is like very, very volatile, right? And you don't want to be reading your tokens cost 0. something ether. Instead, you like to see it in dollar, you like to see it in naira. So that's a very good UX features for beginners, basically. So you're like opening and welcoming anybody to use your application. All right. The next step here is wallet addresses should easily be readable. All right. We all know what wallet address is. It's a long string of 42 characters, basically. All right. And if you're like me, whenever I'm about to make a transaction, I try to verify every character there. All right. I don't know if anyone has experienced it, but I don't just copy and paste. Like if you send me a wallet address, I would not just copy and paste it. No, I have to verify inside, because I know the cost of whatever will happen if I send to the wrong address. That's when your merchant will be like, bro, it didn't get to me, but I sent it to you. So to avoid something like that, right, make wallet addresses to be easily readable. All right. So ENS has tried to like solve this issue, but not everyone patronizes ENS, and ENS is the Ethereum naming service, right? How many of us knows that? All right. Anyways, just for you to know, my ENS is israelrex.eth. So if you feel like you want to help me, you can send me some tokens. I don't care. Thank you, though. So the next one here is clarify transaction waiting times. You know, as a designer, you should tell me how long this transaction is going to take. All right. I don't know how many of us have experienced very long delayed transactions. Very, very long delayed transactions. Said base, okay. Days. Oh, that's too much. Oh. You sure it's blockchain? From Roku? I don't know. Anyways, try sending any token on Optimism to Binance and see how long you wait. I like several times I've tried it. I always think it will improve over time, but it doesn't get to improve. So clarify transaction waiting times. How long is this transaction going to take my time? Like how long do I have to wait? Clarify it. All right. Okay. If you can see this here too, this is a screenshot from Trezor. If you know Trezor hardware wallet, this is a screenshot from Trezor. And Trezor here signifies how long or how fast the transaction is going to happen. So there's the slow, there's the custom, there's the normal, there's high, and each of these incurs several prices in gas fee. All right. So if you want a very fast transaction, Trezor is going to tell you how much it's going to cost. If you can afford it, go ahead. If not, wait for what you can afford. All right. That's a very awesome UX feature. If you're looking to build dApps, you should include such features too. All right. Implement send max button. So this send max button, this is a sample here from Argent. This is a screenshot from Argent I took recently. So you can see the max button here. So instead of users typing in some particular amount they want to send, why not just give us a send max? Let me just tap on send max, then I send everything in my wallet. And recently there, I saw an app that also has send half. So they send max, they send half. So those are awesome UX features that you should try to implement whenever designing dApps. All right. and a lot on the list, but this year especially is very good for like develop designers. I mean, you should take into consideration most of these things. It improves and it welcomes new users to use your application. All right. Um, allow input in familiar currencies when making a transaction. This is basically saying instead of me typing I want to send so amount of stack or 0 point something something ETH, why not just give me the option to type the dollar value? All right. I'm sure many of us have experienced that too. Thinking of an app right now, but MetaMask, awesome. So this is Agent. Agent also gives you that opportunity. I think this button here gives you the opportunity to change it from the US value of the token or the token itself. So you can type whatever you want to send, anywhere you want to do it. So that's an awesome feature. These are all welcoming features that designers should actually take, because using and adopting all of this would surely drive adoption. All right. Before all of this these features, it was very difficult to actually send money. All right. You have to be very sure of the amount of the token you want to send. You have to cross check the wallet addresses. Like, a lot of things are being improved thanks to agents, thanks to Starknet, thanks to abstraction also. All right. Gas prices. We understand. We understand what private keys is. Simple, clean interfaces. Let your interfaces be like very clear, straight to the point, so as not to confuse a user or overwhelm any user when they want to use your application. Mobile responsiveness. All right. So I'm wrapping it up now with, like I said earlier, I had 4 points that actually should drive adoption, but I'm wrapping it up with value. No, I'm not wrapping up with value here, but this is value. Like, designers and developers should understand the value of the product. So then you are to take into consideration your users, what your users would want. Things like that would occur through user interviews and user feedbacks. Then, most importantly, understand who the stakeholders are. All right, stakeholders are the CTOs, the CEO, the core team of the product, the investors, the founders of the product. So these are stakeholders. You should also take into consideration what those guys want for the app. So their vision for the app, their goal, their plans basically for the app. You should take into consideration. All right, before you design whatever it is you want to design. Honestly, because I've experienced where something is good for the users, but the stakeholders do not want that. I don't know if you've experienced that as a designer. All right. So if you would like to dive into this slide more, just reach out to me on Telegram. But let's go further to wrap up. Communication. Collaboration here is basically talking about the managers, the writers, everybody involved. How do you communicate? And also, how do you take into consideration community feedback? All right, because your best experience will come from your users. Your users will tell you what they want. They'll tell you what they need. There's some things you put in the app that does not concern any user, and users are most likely patronizing your app because of one feature you would not know. You would think because your app is everything. And so coming to understand about what your users need will make you focus well on what they truly are coming to you for. All right. And that's how you drive adoption, or actually. All of this can be reviewed. Then building for adoption here. All right. This is something that the devs should actually listen to, because before now I didn't know that this my session is going to be for non-technical session. I thought it was going to be for everyone, so I included this here. All right. So scalability here, dApps should be able to handle a growing user base without performance issues. That is, developers should build their apps in a way that when they are onboarding users, they wouldn't have any issues that has to do with performance, scalability, that and that and that. All right. The best security measures. So dApps should be actually previous yes. Iterate iterative development should be taken into consideration. That is, when developers are building their apps, they should build apps in a way um, they should build their apps in a way whereby it could be changed, it could be iterated. That is, whenever there are new updates, probably due to market increase or market insights, or probably new technologies, user feedbacks. So dApps should be built in a way that changes could easily be made. Because one thing a startup or one thing a product really needs is the ability to change very fast according to users' requests or community feedbacks, basically. All right, so a lot of things here to consider when you're building for adoption. Actually, are you, like someone mentioned, incentive for marketing? So consider incentive mechanisms, token rewards, airdrops, and all. Abstraction. Agents is a very good example. If you use agents as a very new person in Web3, you wouldn't have an issue actually. So agent is a very good example use case for building for adoption. All right. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince developers, if developers are here. I hope I've been able to convince developers that designers don't just push pixels around, but we actually design with a reason. Thank you.